everyone, Day here, and welcome back to my Let's Play of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. So, in last episode, we did learn that the Garridebs were indeed, in fact, husband and wife. Not really something I actually thought would happen, but it does explain their closeness, because, Joan was indeed, in fact, very close to Mr. Garrideb. I should have known, I feel like, hindsight is 2020. Like, knowing certain information, you're like, it makes sense, right? So, that's what we got out of, Herlock Sholmes' spectacular. So, that was what we gleaned, was that she is pretty much the cause of all the damage within the room, because she assumes her husband, John, was cheating on her with some woman, and the guy's name that the cheating party was using was James. So it doesn't make any sense. But she caught a stink, and that's why the room was burned. So we're gonna hop back into it. I don't really know. I don't remember where it was heading before I ended the video, but we're gonna hop back into it. We're still kind of like off the edge of the spectacular, I suppose. And in the pages of one particular novel, we discovered some rather illicit material, for which your wife admonished you harshly, it seems.
Don't know about admonished. Demolished might be rather close to the mark. And beast is most certainly an apt description. Ah!
Here we go again. Never ceases to end, does it? In the carpet? Was that destroyed by fire when a candle fell on the floor?
Afraid to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bally thing. I was caught between the old stick's ridge and the raging flame.
Like, everyone says all these things about Joan. Like, they have described her in a multitude of different ways. I'm just riding the wave. I don't know.
You paint a torrid picture, sir. Well, that would have been most entertaining.
That's sympathy for you. Sholmes' sympathy, I suppose.
Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally furniture started going up as well. We've had to hide the mess behind that screen for the time being.
You have done a very poor job of trying to hide it behind the screen. I mean, for the most part, I guess most of it might be hidden behind the screen. But, I mean, you didn't even pick up the candle. I think that's first and foremost, right? Like, the candle is literally still right in front of the screen. How did you miss picking that up? I don't know. Over here, Mr. Garrideb. Like, I feel like, after saying it out loud like that, it just feels like they left the candle there just for, plot armor reasons. Like, it helped us piece together some things, but, if the candle wasn't there, I still feel like, with the, missing candlestick, we could have still figured that out.
Well, you have nothing more to hide now, if you allow me.
Gotta, mix both Mr. Garrideb's and Sholmes' voice there. Oh, the bookshelf caught fire too.
Had all my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh, up in smoke.
I mean, granted, only 4 books caught fire, which is miraculous because you're right, whoosh, up in smoke. Pretty easy when it concerns, books, paper. Anything tree related. But, yeah, I do also just, in general, want to apologize. Like, I know after watching my last few videos that I recorded, I do realize that I'm looking back and forth. But I have the game playing on my screen. I like to make sure that it's still recording. But then I look over here on my monitor, which is, like, how I like to look at it, because it's, like, the big screen. And this is where the webcam is. So, if you see me looking back and forth, that's what's going on. I'm like, come on, make more eye contact with the camera. But yeah, I look back and forth because of that reason.
Gosh. Then the wife started hurling things at me.
What a terrible sight it must have been.
There was I, back up against a window, under heavy enemy fire. Incendiary books and coming 10 to the dozen. Worst of it is, I lost my favorite book called The Lion's Pride.
I feel like that's going to be important. He lost his book called The Lion's Pride. Not Simba's Pride, mind you. It's not a sequel to The Lion King after all these years backwards. The Lion's Pride. Ah, yes, your notorious love of big cats coming through again.
I assure you the title didn't influence my choice in the slightest.
So the poor man really did lose something dear to him as a result of the ferocious beast rampage. Mr. Sholmes' deductions turned out to be correct once again. Can only be described as a great British wonder.
I tell you, it was total carnage. Flames everywhere and the old stick in full throttle. Out of interest, what time of
day was that? I'm surprised she allows these. I'm very surprised she allows these negative comments without retort.
Not sure I can remember. It was 2 days ago now. Let's say around 5 o'clock, I think.
So he did step out, get a book. So at exactly the same time as a terrifying incident was unfolding outside of your window on the street below.
Even more terrifying on the inside, I can assure you.
They have an alibi. They were in here tussling, but it kind of sucks that they're each other's alibi. Like, I mean, it doesn't change the fact that maybe Joan. Yeah, that was my theory from the last episode. At the tail end, I said that I thought that Joan may have stepped out and did the deed to the lady, but it still would not explain how our own Sosuke did not notice this. I still have some issues with certain things of this case.
The whole of Blighty could have been flirting outside my window at that moment, and I wouldn't have noticed a dashed thing.
Oh, really? Everyone says "oh, really" a lot in this game. It's interesting. Like, if it was like, Maya or, Phoenix, I feel like, oh, really? Like, I mean, they probably said it like once or twice, but not like all the time in the same case. Mr. Sholmes?
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. What can I do for you?
Well, I think we've got to the bottom of Mr. Garrideb's situation now. But it creates an alibi. It doesn't really, I mean, it might, it's not a watertight alibi, is all I can really say. It's not watertight. There's room for, error. They're not, they could still have committed the crime somehow, but what does it have to do with Mr. Natsume's circumstances? Like, we need it. He's already, I mean, granted, Sholmes said this was not necessarily going to be in connection to that.
I can't help you there, I'm afraid.
What? Ryunoske, he said that there was the potential that this route had nothing to do with the case.
My dear fellow, if you recall, I recall, I did say as much from the outset.
There's much I don't remember about this stuff, but I remember that.
I warned you that although I knew the retired army man to be hiding something, I could not be sure whether his secret would prove to be of relevance or not to the case at hand.
I just knew you were going to say that. Why would he say anything different? Like, sometimes I really hate how they write the characters. Like, sir, there was no reason for him to say anything different. It was literally as he said already from the outset. So I don't understand. I don't understand why it would have been any different.
You, sir, are in a situation where we say you have played yourself.
Like, what did you expect? I really don't know.
Now, Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't lose heart. Bear in mind that all things fall into one of only two categories. Those relevant to the case, and those not.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking. Like, I have moments where I puzzle certain things they say. Because I feel like certain things, especially in visual novel type video games, such as Ace Attorney, there are certain times where things aren't said for, no reason. And the fact that he said this, like, obviously we would assume he means that this doesn't have anything to do with the case. But we played a whole spectacular, right? I feel like it means something to the case. Like, I mean, if it was just something casual that they mentioned and like we found out about it, sure. Maybe I could. Maybe I would. No, I would still keep it in the back of my mind somewhere. But the part that gets me is that we had a whole Sherlock Holmes spectacular for this, or Sherlock Holmes spectacular for this. So it's like, I just feel like the alibi is gonna fall apart. But I don't know. I mean, the room is obviously damaged. But he could have chosen the right time slot, I suppose, for his alibi. That's the only thing I have. I don't want to last too long because I do want to make progress, and this case seems insanely long, but I also want to think about certain things. That makes no sense to me.
Well, no matter. It is of far greater importance that you make up your mind now.
Sorry? And he says that a lot too.
Visiting hours at the prison will soon be over.
Oh no! Is it that time already?
If we're to accept Mr. Natsume's case, we have official paperwork to attend to. So that's it. No more time to think.
Oh yeah, was he sitting on his haunches about accepting the case? I do remember that. Wow, like I can't believe that the last time I saw that moment was like over a year ago. Insane.
Perhaps you'd like to betake yourselves to bidding us farewell now.
You've been wanting us gone probably since before a lot of things transpired, and you probably really hate that we figured out that you're not a real maid, but
I must prepare supper for Mr. Garrideb.
Oh yes. I'm so sorry.
Thank you both very much for your time. Saseki-san will be waiting for us, and I'm going to have to give him an answer.
Are we really done with them? Need to go there. I just don't see. Like, it happened during the time of the case. That, it means something. Like, did they overhear? But I really feel like the alibi is gonna come crashing down. It's the only thing that makes sense. Like, it was being pushed as not important, but I don't know. It's just it's something about it. 19th February, Briar Road.
It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. We must hurry back to the prison.
Yes, I know. That's hella carrot. Oh?
What's the matter?
Having flashbacks to the last case about carriages? Oh. I don't blame you. That was an insane case. It looks like something's going on over there in front of the Garrideb's house. See, that's that guy whose name that lost me from the last case. Oh, I just feel like he's gonna definitely make a comeback at some point. Maybe not in this game, but maybe in the second game or something. Or maybe he will come back in this game, and like that's how they will finish it up. Because I'm sure they probably didn't really. There could be a chance they didn't have in mind a sequel that they would actually finish for this game. Who knows? But what was that? Mr. McGillid, wasn't it? Yeah. I felt like he's gonna come back. But let's see. Hold my cheese and crackers.
I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers.
Who are you calling an old man, you rum-looking niminy piminy? Niminy piminy? What is a niminy piminy? I've never heard that before.
There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy.
Who's this Horatio fella, eh? What are you on about?
Excuse me.
Eh? What the? Who are you now?
I'm sorry. It just looked as though there might be some problem here. My associate here, Mr. Ryunoske Naruhodo, is a lawyer, you see.
Eh? A lawyer? What?
If I can be of any assistance, I'd be happy to help. I'm from Japan, but I have studied English law.
Tcha! Fine. I'll be on my way for today. But you mark my words. This ain't over yet. Do it in style. Jeez.
Get thee to a nunnery.
Do I look like a bloomin' nun to you? But you're no bloomin' onion. Makes me want Texas Roadhouse. This guy looks like he came from like he could be like a mix of a royal jester or something.
I do hope you're not injured. Oh, fair Eastward maiden, thou art so gentle. Thank you.
What was that all about?
There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy.
I'm not Horatio either.
Forgive the inquiry, sir, but are you a lodger here in the Garrideb residence? Oh, fair Eastward maiden, thou art so right. Yes, I do dwell in this humble abode.
So Garrideb mentioned that he had another lodger, didn't he? He probably did. So much has happened. Nor did I really think that we'll meet the lodger, which I don't know. I just didn't assume, I guess. This must be the man. Like, sometimes they mention, like... Oh, I can actually see that the windows are boarded from, this angle. Huh. Interesting. Do you happen to know the other lodger who lives on the first floor?
Ah, yes. A gentleman named Natsume. Oh, more worthy, a polemist in my battle of words, ne'er could there be.
Sorry? Battle, did you say? This is, you know, like, did you stab someone? Maybe?
Who is the stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Natsume and I sparred long into the night.
I see.
I don't fully understand, but it seems Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintances at least. So fair maiden, so good a gentleman. I couldn't hurry here no longer. Fare thee well.
No, he seems very dramatic.
I didn't really understand him, but I think he's returned to his room.
It seems he's unaware of what's happened to Mr. Natsume, so he can't really help us. With Soseki-san and that man as lodgers, the Garrideb house is certainly full of eccentrics. Actually, yeah, really. Anyway, I'll go and find a carriage.
Yes, I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eagerly awaiting our return.
Let's hope we can get to the prison before visiting hours are over. I don't know, dealing with those two. Not one guy. Like, everyone has like a dang Denzel Crocker vibe to me. Like, they're just gonna pop out saying, "Fairy godparents!" Everyone is definitely very, like, motion animated. 19th February, 6:31 p.m. Uh-oh. Excuse me. Sorry. Local prison, cell 9. His eyes just look so deranged. Oh! I honestly forgot the voice I gave this guy. I'm not even going to pretend like I have any inkling.
Oh, it's you! You're here! You came! Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire!
Like, I feel like he was, like, super flamboyant, too.
I can't believe you came back! I'm so touched!
We are so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume. Though I don't want to wear my voice out trying to keep up with this guy's energy.
Oh, no! Think nothing of it. Relax. If I were a cat, I would purr with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. Noble, nurturing, never failing, Nepalese.
Oh, now let's not get carried away. Oh, I quite agree. There is nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. On the other hand, I have no idea who's saying this.
Oh, it is through friendship.
I don't know why, but I never even thought of Sholmes making an appearance here for some reason.
It is through friendship, transcending international borders, that one truly appreciates the fact. Such is my belief, at least. It's you! The miserable, rotten spy! Airlock Sholmes!
Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here?
I have no intention of doing anything per se, save observing, of course.
Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
Well, having encountered some curious reading material in that gloom-filled room, and having unmasked the secret identity of that eccentric pair, I am feeling like I am at the top of my A game. I decided I should drop in on my way home to see how our divested friend is faring. Gloom-filled room! At least your accommodation here offers a window, my dear fellow. In that sense, it is the superior option.
Sheesh. I don't think I can't argue that. I would rather a room with a window, I think.
Anyway, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been a delight and cost me not a penny.
I mean, did libraries not exist in this time period? Did you have to buy books?
Ah! You! How dare you!
I'm guessing it's still Herlock Sholmes. Maybe? I'm just gonna say Herlock Sholmes. But yeah.
How dare you, Herlock Sholmes!
Don't.
Ugh! I've had it. I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should never have come to Great Britain. It was a terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits in those accursed lodgings. No doubt my luck would be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well. My whole life is bedamned!
What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo? He mentioned that once before. Did he? I'm like, yeah, this seems like a blast to the past of a year ago. That his lodgings were cursed, I mean.
There is much truth in Mr. Mustache's words.
What? Okay, this is not the digital age. There's no way someone was spying on him, right?
Cursed is a wholly appropriate description, I would say. The man's lodgings, and indeed for tomorrow's trial.
What's that supposed to mean? Faith, trust, and pixie dust? I don't know. Never. No. Mr. Natsume, what did you mean by what you said just now? About the trial tomorrow being cursed?
Oh no! Why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous! I was just getting carried away, that's all! I didn't mean anything by it!
Oh, I see. That's really agitated him.
You don't mean the trial really is cursed somehow?
I don't know why I have him saying cursed, but I gotta make him different somehow. Are you referring to the prosecutor? The Reaper of the Bailey?
The Reaper? Oh no! What do you mean? Please, tell me! Summarize it succinctly in 16 salient words!
No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution. Ever. I mean, I guess granted that was kind of true in yesterday's trial.
Oh my goodness! Could it really be true? That was 16 words exactly!
Yesterday, Mr. Naruhodo successfully defended someone against the Reaper. But then, after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances. Oh yeah, he did die, didn't he? I don't think he's dead. That's the thing. Like, there is no way you're gonna convince me that Mr. McGillet passed away literally in that. No, you can't. There's nothing you could say or do to convince me that he's toast. I can't believe that. Like, he literally he had so much bad guy vibes around him, but obviously it was like we couldn't touch him. He had money, right? So basically he was untouchable. Like, I can't see him just being completely dead. He's gonna come back. It's gonna be like a what was her name? Dahlia in Ace Attorney for Phoenix. His ex-girlfriend, but they were twin sisters type deal. And it's gonna be something like that. But obviously not without without the spirit mediums. Mr. McGillet. What? I don't think he's dead. So you don't have to worry, Sosuke. I don't know how he faked his death, but I just feel like there's just no way. Ah, I am impressed, Miss Usato. You have an eye for detail. Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us. Mr. Sholmes. Surely it can't be that having failed to have the accused convicted, Lord Von Zieks killed the man himself? No one's dead. That's my headcanon. Until I definitively finish the whole entire duology. Like, until I do that, no one's dead. Oh no, he couldn't have Shirley. You have some wonderful notions. Again, sorry. Like, never mind. You know what? I understand completely. It's a language barrier. So I'm literally gonna let that slide too. Makes sense. The man isn't a mass murderer. He's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow. Oh, yes. Of course he is. Ah, of course he is? Then why are you trying to scare me? It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis. Are we talking about McGillet? Oh, well, Lord Von Zieks. I see. What on earth do you mean by that? We're going into the lodgings first. That was next. When you said accursed lodgings before, you were referring to your room at Mr. Garrideb's house, I assume. Do you mean to say you believe the place is cursed? It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain, but I'd only been in London a week before I started to notice strange feelings in myself. That didn't take long then. Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. That could just be paranoia. I was sure people were talking about me. Started to become nervous about going outside. I mean, granted, it could be true. I mean, this is a different time period. They were always staring at me, all the time, from dawn to dusk. I shut myself away in my room, but even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away. Must have been very lonely, having been away from your homeland for such a long time. I've had to move a number of times. Most recently, to that room on Briar Road a week ago now. Yes. Why did you choose there? It seems a little inconvenient. The rent is cheap. I have so little money it appealed to me straight away. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable. The landlord just simpered and said, "The room is cursed." Oops. He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late. So I told him, "If you have something to say, then say it. But if not, don't mention it in the first place." Yes. Well said. But it was true. It was all true. You mean the room really is cursed then?
ever since I moved into that windowless hellhole. My sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I awake feeling as though I'm being choked to death. And in my waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the street.
Right. Right. That mystery. That little conundrum. People are stabbed. Not a ghost. It is a mystery, though. A dang good mystery.
I'm Brenda, a killer, thrown in prison. Nobody wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits.
I don't know if that's true.
If only there was someone, just one person on my side. Can no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me? Really, no one at all.
Believe. Yes. To believe. Now I'm going back up to the Reaper.
Von Zieks is quite an exceptional man. However, in London, courts of law, exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception. Ah, that's good.
Seki-san looks like he's going to cry tears of joy.
As you are no doubt aware, in a British criminal trial, there is both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of the law, whilst the jury offers public opinion and common sense. It is an excellent system whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view.
I wouldn't call it excellent. I mean, every system has a flaw. But you hope that this one has a... You hope that this is a more unbiased way of going about, you know, seeking a verdict.
However, public opinion in particular is somewhat easily manipulated.
Right, huh. Never experienced that before.
Criminals and corrupt lawyers, for that matter, can use it to their advantage. By any means at their disposal. Retrieving evidence, calling imposters as witnesses, and so on. By such underhand means, those who will want to are able to sway the jury. Which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail.
But it means the wrong verdict can be passed.
Absolutely. And sadly, is from time to time, my dear madame, it is simply the reality of the situation.
And that's alright. I mean, it's kind of one of those horrible situations where you're pretty much handed you're pretty much handed some cards and you're just dealing with it as you can, really.
However, those indicted by Lord Von Zieks cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed.
Oh my.
Though the adjudication may see them leave the courtroom with their freedom, within months they all disappear. It is most striking.
Then there's that conspiracy.
Disappear? But how?
I actually agree with Sosuke. How?
Ah, by all manner of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they are trampled under a passing carriage. Perhaps they fall into the
how do you say that? Times? I know it's not pronounced the way it looks.
And drown. Perhaps they are suddenly overcome by a raging fever, or perhaps attacked by highwaymen. Oh, no. All examples of the reality of events here in London. I'm afraid, Mr. Naruhodo. Ah, I knew it. I'm dead, done for, doomed.
Hopefully not. But you know, it's gonna be tough because I personally still don't have a conclusive, or not even conclusive. I barely have a guess. I barely have a tiny shoestring guess. Mr. Sholmes.
Ah, me, Mr. Naruhodo. Pray, what can I do for you?
It's about the case on the SS Bureau, if you recall. Soseki just does not look like he's okay with anything right now. He's sad.
Tabira.
Ah, that case.
The one with the snake.
He always says that. Well, yes. At that time, I was the suspect. But you believed in me and listened to my side of the story. And you helped us to investigate. I mean, I feel like detectives should definitely, like, lead or look into investigations unbiased. By all means.
I didn't I?
Interesting. I want to know is why. Why did you believe me?
I see, yes. You mean... because you were a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found with a victim in a locked room?
Well, if you like, yes.
I'm a little surprised that the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said, I didn't do it.
But I could have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts. You must have suspected me a little.
I think perhaps you have misunderstood. I neither recall believing in you, nor in that which you were telling me.
What?
You see, the only things I believe in are those I choose to believe in.
I mean, okay, but that just leads to... What? What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
I make up my own mind about what is to be believed and what is not. I should like to believe in something, I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I'm concerned.
But I could have betrayed your trust.
I have no trust to be broken, boy. In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment. Nothing more. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse, in my opinion.
Meaning?
Whether or not one should trust another is, in the final analysis, down to oneself. It is a matter of whether or not one can trust oneself. Yes, he's right! He's right! Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire!
Whether or not I can believe myself.
Sogi! A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself.
You were so right, Kazuma.
Sogi! Well, my dear fellows, it is time we were leaving, I believe.
Already?
Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out. There is a restaurant near here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join me?
Soseki's like, I can't join you.
Oh dear, there's never enough time, is there?
Soseki's like, how dare you mention trout in front of my face when I literally am right behind prison bars here. Poor Soseki. Mr. Natsume, if you'd like, in the trial tomorrow, I'd be happy to represent you. Susato-san.
Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire!
As I said, I only experienced a British courtroom for the first time yesterday. Please do keep that in mind. And although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial.
Something crucial?
What to believe in? The defendant? Justice? Or the truth? How to believe even? I don't remember how I truly felt about the McGillett case anymore. I know that I thought he was shady. I would never get over the fact that I thought he was shady, but I don't think that I actually thought that he was like as shady as he wound up being. I think even that caught me off guard. Kind of proved my point, but that doesn't change how I truly felt at the time. But I think I finally worked it out. I've decided I must believe in myself above all else. Trust my instincts.
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo.
And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of this crime, and it's imperative that we prove that in court.
Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire!
I will fight for your innocence until the bitter end, with every weapon available to me. So I hope you will permit me to represent you tomorrow. You sound so official. You sound like you're ready. Oh, I cannot wait to see him grow a little bit more. Become a little bit more seasoned.
As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me in my native tongue.
Where's Mr. Natsume?
It would be fair to say, Mr. Naruhodo, that your mind was, in many ways, made up from the outset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it.
Yes, I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end. I still don't know about those two. Like, how do they equate into this? Mr. Sato. Yes. Would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court? Absolutely. As I said this morning, you may consider me personal judicial assistant. I guess Susato's growing on me a little bit. I was so upset with her for how she treated Naruhodo. It just was like, come on. Like, I know he's probably like the most suspicious person we have right now, but there was also just the simple fact that he was best friends with Asogi. Like, she didn't go in with an open mind at all. Like, not even a little bit. The shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily on my mind. But it's time to stop looking backwards. Kazuma believed in me. Mr. Sholmes believes in me now too. So it's time to duel! Oh, wrong game. Time that I learned to believe in myself. Oseki-san has no one. He's all alone. So it's my job to help him, to fight his corner. Tomorrow, in the courtroom, with all the strength I can muster. The end. And we shall definitely be ending it on this note. I mean, you can't really end it better than on a to be continued. But, yeah, this is going to be a very long trial. I wonder if there's going to be a day 2 as well. Ugh. How can there possibly be a day 2 when it was like, we barely even... Okay, so, just to go over some things before I press save, which I probably won't press because I think it's just going to continue on anyway. But, okay, so, as far as the, Garridebs go, we learned that they're married. That doesn't really equate to anything, but during the time of their battle, or, the wife attacking her husband, the lady was being stabbed outside the window. And then you have Soseki, who saw no one. So, even if you want to say that their alibi doesn't hold water, and they're protecting, one of them is protecting the other, it's still Soseki himself didn't see anyone. And I don't think either one of them can, like, quickly stab someone and disappear into mist. So, I'm still lost there. Then we did see the 2 other witnesses. So we have them. Don't know their names, I don't think. We didn't really get super acquainted with them. We do know the one guy lives in the Garrideb residence and is more likely Soseki's neighbor. So that's that. Then there was this other guy. Whether or not they would be at the trial, it remains to be seen. Because if they do wind up being at the trial, it's kind of like, basically, I feel like if we're going to actually speak to them during the trial, the only way we're going to get any information from them is to basically, how will we get well, interrogate them. That's what I was trying to say. So that would be like the only way we will be able to get any information from them is if we interrogate them, and that would be like one of the ways we could get the truth out of them. So, because I don't think I don't really think we have any evidence. Like that's the thing too. We have like what 3 pieces of evidence, and none of that it doesn't really add up to anything. So I don't know. I feel like maybe we'll get more evidence during the trial. That sometimes happens, but it's not looking good. I truly don't know. Hmm. Who could it be? Like I don't know if I have all my ducks in a row yet. But anyways, I'm sorry for I feel like this is probably truly the best time for me to like analyze and reanalyze like the case. So yeah, we're going into the trial tomorrow. I feel just as rookie as anyone else would, because this trial, I don't know how much it hinges on anything. Like I don't know if it's going to pertain to the overall whole of like the McGillet case. Like the McGillet case feels so like it's going to definitely come back and bite us in the rear at some point. Like McGillet's case definitely meant more to the overall whole of the game, but does this one? I don't know. But anyways, while I continue to think it over to myself and figure things out, I will let you guys off to do your own thing. Thank you so much for watching and for sticking with me to this point. I hope you all enjoyed this episode and my little ramblings of what's going on. And until next time, I hope you all have a great and awesomely wonderful day. See you later. Bye.